All right, you awesome people driving home from a hard day of work in that terrible traffic. Keep them hands at 10 and 2 or 9 and 3, depending on what year you got your driver's license test done. But keep your eyes on the road, your hands on the wheel, and your ears on Bob the Cigar Guy as we jump into the I Got the Smokes Let's Ride podcast experiment with me, BTCG, episode 3 of 5. Are we going to go any further? Your comments and feedback are going to be the thing that's going to keep me on the air while you're on the road. If you're watching this, hopefully you're not driving. I must ask you to not look at me when you're driving. And you know what? I don't know if I'd want to look at me if you weren't. So, buyer beware. Avert your eyes if you can't stand the visage of Bob the Cigar Guy. And if so, I don't blame you. Now, this is just my mind wandering. If you ever get lost in my mind, make sure you tie yourself to a rope and anchor that to something outside so that you don't get lost in the abyss of me, because it's a mess and a half, and that's for sure, but a fun place to be, I guarantee. I say leave breadcrumbs, but I'm usually hungry and I might devour them behind you because I'm in there with you. But we are going to have some fun tonight. I decided I would do a segment this evening. We'll get into a little bit, but first, let's get into smoking a cigar. Now, I just got these from General Cigar. Came to me, where is it? Came to me just today, actually, off the front porch. It is Friday at 10:06 p.m. That's right, we're burning the midnight oil, and this is the Alec Bradley Chunk Maduro. The heifer's not very big. I usually don't go for a small cigar because size matters, at least to me, and at least in cigars. But I'm going to cut this thing with this big paleo cutter. This thing is a huge, it'll cut an 80 gauge. That's true. So keep your fingers out of the working parts because you may lose a tip of a finger. Draws great. So we're going to light her up. What are we going to light her with? I'm going to use that big old paleo lighter. This thing is amazing. It's phenomenal. It's got that quad jet on it, and it will fire it up amazingly, fantastically, and phenomenally. When you're ready to get to smoking and you don't want to waste time, don't grab those matches. Don't grab those spills. Leave that single jet alone and grab the quad, because this thing is amazing. And the fuel dial is large, so you can bring it up and bring it down. It's got a little cigar rest on top, and it will hold about enough butane to light between 100 and 120 cigars. How do I know? Ask me. Ask me how I know. I'll tell you how I know, because I actually, when I got my first one, not lit yet, when I got my first one, I actually put a piece of masking tape on it and I drew a tick mark on every cigar. Now, I did not do like you do on the humidors where it says it holds 80. It never holds 80 because they put 80 half Lanceros in there. And so, yeah, but I got the big cigars out. I got the monster cigars out, and I lit them as well. And they did over 120 cigars in one fuel fill. Now, this lighter, tested to me from Quality Importers, may be our next swag offering, our gear offering. If you want to get some great gear, you can go to ChevetteReport.com. And you can hit on the merch button and you can see all sorts of great things we have. Branded stuff. We got a fantastic Pistola lighter there. Little cutters. We got Travadors. And we're going to add more things as the time goes on. But while you're at Chevette Report, do not miss out. It's like going to Disney and missing Space Mountain. Go and check out Chief's comments on most of the press releases. We have tons and tons of press releases. This is one of the press releases that will probably be on there right now, but I'm going to read from the press release. Remember, this is not a cigar review, but I just thought I'd give you some information on this cigar that I'm smoking. Not too shabby for the first eighth of an inch. Of course, this thing's not long, so I'd bet if I don't keep talking too much, we'll have a second cigar tonight, or today, while you're driving. So let's read. All right, so this is from Ford Cigar Company. This is the General Cigar. Alec Bradley launches hefty new line, Chunk Maduro. Introducing Alec Bradley Chunk Maduro! Exclamation point. So I guess I should say Alec Bradley Chunk Maduro! Whoa! For years, Alec Bradley has released chunk front marks. For some of the that's weird. Chunk front marks. For some, if I had chunk front marks, I would change my pants, especially if I had chunk back marks. Chunk front marks for some of the brand's most beloved cigars, Magic Toast, Double Broadleaf, Gatekeeper, among others. Now, this squat cigar shape is getting its own full-time release with Chunk Maduro. Chunk Maduro is a full-flavored, powerful cigar packed into a short and chubby package. It boasts a rich Mexican Maduro wrapper, Honduran Jamastran, I love that word, binder, and Dominican Piloto and Nicaraguan Esteli filler tobacco. Chunk Maduro offers a spicy and peppery yet pleasantly balanced flavor profile. It is manufactured at the Hatsa, H-A-T-S-A factory in Danlí, Honduras. I guess it's Danlí. It might be Danili, but I don't know. Nobody's here from Honduras to tell me how to say it, so I guess I'll just say it the way I say it. Alec Bradley Senior Brand Manager Ed Lehman, L-A-H-M-A-N-N, Layman, said the chunk front mark has become a signature Alec Bradley size, and now we're pleased to unveil a full-time line dedicated to these hefty smokes. Beyond the eye-catching branding and approachable price point, Chunk Maduro delivers a big, satisfying smoking experience that we know our fans will love. Alec Bradley Chunk Maduro is available in 3 full-time sizes and 2 limited edition front marks. Chunk Maduro boxes include 20 cigars per box, except the 4XL front mark, which contains 18 cigars. Begins shipping to retailers October 14th, so you can find these in the wild. In this first little bit, I'm liking it. Oh, my computer went down. Let's look at it. All right, so we have the large, which is a 3x58, extra large, which is a 4x60, 2XL Torpedo, 4x64, 3XL, 4x66, and 4XL, 4x80. Now, I can't tell you how much the cigars cost. I can't. If I do, YouTube, which this is on, will be like, you are such a bad boy. Go stand in the corner. You take this punishment and boo on you. And I don't want to be booed on. I don't. No boo-boo on Bob, the cigar guy. No boo-boo on Bob, me. Let's leave the boo-boo out of it, right? So no boo-boo here. So I'm not going to tell you the prices, but I will tell you this. In Travelers Rest, South Carolina, I can buy a Diet Pepsi of this size, a regular single-serve Diet Pepsi, 2 for $4.50. If I bought 3, I'm working around the edge here. If I bought 3, I could buy almost all of these different sizes. The 4XL would take 3 and 2 or 3 sips, right? Remember that old TV show in Living Color? The homeless dude says, what can I get for 2 bites of your chewing gum and a half a hot dog or a bite of a pickle? Can I give you, it was Chris Rock that did it. Can I give you 57 cents for a bite of a pickle? Right? I'll take 1 pepperoni. That was fun. I used to love watching those. Anyway. It's tasty. It doesn't punch me in the face. That Mexican San Andreas, the Jamastran, and Piloto, and all that other good stuff, I thought it'd be a little bit heavy, but it's not. It's a little gritty, a little peppery, a little spicy, just a hair. A little bit of aggression on the palate. But it's in balance. It's pretty good. Now, I'm maybe a half-inch in. This thing is so small, though. I'm sorry. 4-inch cigar. I'm not a big fan, okay? I like a lot of cigar because I like to smoke a lot of cigar. When I'm going to sit down and smoke a cigar, I'm going to enjoy a cigar. I'm not a coffee break or a lunch break cigar guy because I want to spend more time with it. And this is so short. If you got a 4-inch cigar, most people are going to smoke 2 inches of it. I'm going to smoke 3 inches of it, and then I'm going to kind of worry about burning my fingers, and it better be really, really good for me to go past that and pull out the nub tool. So I'm much more into the Robusto, the Toro, the Lancero, the Churchill, the Lonsdale. Love a Lonsdale. Something that's a little on the larger size. Now, I'm very rarely am I going to get into the flathead 880 size, right? That big monster, or the lunatic by Aganorsa. The Vitola gets a little bit round, large, just uncomfortable. 6 by 60, maybe. 50, 52, 54, 56 is really where I like to live. But like I said, Lonsdale, and that's what, a 48. So something in that size. Lanceros are good, but I like Lancero just for the flavor experience. And I think of the that song, All My Friends Driving Low Riders, and I think about those size Lanceros, something like that. It just has that dun, 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 dun feel. Dun, 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 right. So that's what I'm smoking, at least for right now. I'm gonna puff on this because I really want to do another one that got sent as a press release, and it's hard to read. It's a Macanudo release number 3, and it's got something on the foot band, but it's done in such tight script. There's probably no way I'm gonna be able to read it. I understand. Okay, let me saying we grumping. I understand what it is to have fancy script in writing, that little filigree thing, right? It's pretty, it's elegant, it's highfalutin. But if you look at my videos on my thumbnails and when I post, there's no really curvy, scripty anything, because I want you to be able to read it really fast. I want you to be able to see it like a street sign, like the font at Walmart, right? They don't do all the scrolly stuff on most things. And that's because they want you to be able to consume the information easily. When they put these fancy, pretty scripts and they make it so small, it makes it very difficult for me to read it. And not that I'm spending a lot of time reading anything but cigars. Yeah. So if I know what it is, it looks good in the humidor, but it's my old man peeve. Now, it smokes good. It smokes full. God, dog. I clouded out the camera. Don't look. Drive. Anyway, I said we were going to do a segment. I don't know if this is going to be a forever segment, but I bought enough for 2 segments, so this segment and next segment, and I think it's going to be a train wreck. I do. I expect it to be a train wreck. I do. I bought it hoping it would be a train wreck. I did. I picked the most ridiculous, silly, dumb, nonsensical, doesn't make sense, that's nonsensical, kind of thing. The episode is, or the segment is called Will It Pair? Right? So I'm going to be pairing something with my cigar. I decided, since I was going to do it in the evening, and I live at the house, I'm not driving, I should call the segment You Drive While I Drink. If I'm sitting next to you and you don't drive well, I might be You Drive Me to Drink. But you drive while I drink. So I've got an alcoholic adult beverage. If you are underage, do not consume alcohol. If you are of age, do not consume too much. Drink responsibly. Do not drink and drive. I can't stress that enough. But this thing, I'm not a beer guy. I don't drink much beer. I don't. Bourbons, whiskeys, scotch, a rum, a tequila, right? Mixed drink every once in a while. I'm not an old-fashioned guy. I don't much care for old fashions. A highball, a sidecar. I wanted a gin and tonic, but I didn't like it. A little absinthe every once in a while, that little licorice flavor. It's nice. But this is none of those. This is Sweetwater Gummies Tropical IPA. That sounds like a train wreck, doesn't it? Don't look at this, but I think they probably spent more money on the guy designing the can than... That's a big old heifer, too. God dog it. They didn't have small ones. It's a good size heifer. It's the size of Arnold Palmer tea, right? One of them Arizona teas in the cans for 99 cents. Used to be 99 cents. It's about that size, and I am not looking forward to this. I just, we're going to get into it, though. There, you heard that, right? Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. I have backup. I got some Diet Pepsi there, and I've got a snack if I need it. But this is Gummies Tropical IPA. Does not sound good. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. It is so bad. First sip. Oh, my. Hold on. Oh, man. All right. Ooh. Wee. That's something. Let me try it again. Oh, my gosh. Oh. 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 I'm having flashbacks to when I was in high school. I want to shave my tongue. I do. I didn't shave my tongue in high school. So, hang on. Wow. Wow. There's a lot of it. See, that's the thing. There's a lot of it. It's 9 point something percent alcohol by volume. 9.5. Luckily, the house is downhill, right? It doesn't get better. Oh, I'm slobbering. My mouth is actually fighting right now. It says, "Oh, what are you doing?" Ugh. So, skipped school one time. I skipped school all the time. I did. I failed skipping in kindergarten. I did. That's a fact. On my report card. What kind of school? On my report card in kindergarten, there was a thing that you had to complete all these tasks, and you got pass fail. And one of them was skipping. And my water buffalo looking self can't skip today. I can't skip to save my life. I couldn't. Somebody said, if you don't skip, I'm going to kill you. Just go ahead and shoot me because I'm dead. I can't skip. But to tell a kid that he failed skipping, well, I made up for it in high school. You dang right I did. Skipped to my loo. Skipped the first to seventh period. We had 7 periods in high school. I was in high school so long ago, an A was 90 to 100. A B was 80 to 89. A C was 70 to 79. A D was 60 to 69. And an F was 59. Right? And so, it totally different now. These kids, like a 96 is an A and a 95 is a B or some bukkake like that, you know. Anyway. And I skipped a lot of school. But there was a place, we went, it's the woods outside the school, and my parents had some friends. And for whatever reason, he had a junkyard, cool junkyard. And called him Mr. Sunshine. It was really neat. He had coveralls all the time. Really neat guy. Really great guy. Burps are coming. It tastes worse too. Worked really hard. Worked my dad in the post office. And for whatever reason, his son worked at a brewery, Miller Brewing, owned by a baseball guy, a pitcher. I forget, not Nolan Ryan or anything, but it was some baseball guy owned the Miller Brewing, but in our area in Gainesville, Florida. Anywho, He would bring home all the cans of beer that were defective. And some of them were half full, some of them were full and dented, some of them were full and not dented, and I didn't understand why. Maybe there was something wrong with the beer. But he would bring them out to a dirt floor shed and stack them up in cases. And he had cases as high as could be. Huge amount of beer all over the place. And we were over there one time visiting. And I said, what's all that beer? And he goes, yeah, that's my son. He just keeps putting it out there. I think he's going to crush the cans one day and make the money. Because back then, cans cost 35. You get 35 cents for a pound of aluminum cans. And if you were like me, you put a tablespoonful of sand in each can. It only took about 18 cans to make a pound. And so you could rack up pretty fast. Yeah, I was corrupt. I was a bad kid. You couldn't put more than that sand because then they know because the bag was too heavy to be that big. So I was smart, but I was not good. So I decided that I was going to bring a duffel bag in my backpack to school, skip school with my good friend James. We're going to sneak over to this guy's pile of beer and get all the beer in the duffel bag we could, the big 40s of Miller High Life. Ugh. I think there was some Colt 45 or some Schlitz or something. I don't know what. It was just nasty. And we went out and we put it in the middle of the woods where we kind of had our little fort because we were out there a lot. Buried it in pine straw because there's pine trees everywhere. And decided to go back into school and see if we could get some ladies and some fellas to come out and drink some beer. The ladies, they got to come for free, and the fellas had to pay $5 to drink all they could drink of this very old, very non-well-kept, defective beer. And so I proceeded to take them out there, and I proceeded to be the big man on campus, and I proceeded to drink and drink and drink this hot, old, defective beer. It was so bad. Let me take another sip and go right back to that place. Oh, my. It should not be a combination. It's like sauerkraut and chocolate cake. I like sauerkraut, I like chocolate cake, but I don't like them together. This is something. I just tried. Oh, sorry. Oh, it came back up on me. I'm just trying to get through it. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna do it for you. Don't do it. Don't buy this stuff. Sweetwater. IPA gummies, tropical IPA. Don't do it. It's not tropical, and it's IPU. Oh my gosh, it's PU. It's disgusting. Oh, it's bad. The best part of it is the can. Pretty colors. Lots of little palm trees and little lifesaver rings and some birds and some citrus pieces and gummy fish. It looks like gummy worms, pink flamingos, pink sunglasses. I don't know. Nasty. Nasty, nasty. So anyway, ugh, God, that's awful. Yeah. So anyway, school got over around 2:30. I walked out barely to the bus. Got on the bus. Got home. My mama was home. She was in nursing school. She had all her nursing friends over studying. I decided I was going to walk in and just go crash into bed because I just felt like crap. I did. I felt horrendously awful. So I walked in there and I just walked right past Mom and them ladies and I went straight to the room. Found out later that those ladies looked at my mom and said, you know he's drunk, right? My mom says, what? He goes, yeah, he's drunk. No, that's my baby boy. They're like, well, your baby boy is drunk. Which I was. Very off nasty beer. Spoiled, hot, defective beer. A lot of it. Oh my God. So my mom knocked in the door. Back at my house, Mama don't knock on the door. She knock in the door because it's her house. Privacy is not expected in that house. She can go wherever she wants to and do whatever she wants to because it's her house. She knocked in the door. She looked at me. I'm laying on my waterbed, which is not helping at all. And she goes, "You're drunk." I looked at my mom, closed one eye. I said, "No, Mama, I'm not drunk." She goes, "You're drunk." And she leaned in my face and she goes, "You stink." She goes, "You know what? There are consequences for your actions. Get up." Now we live in Florida, like I said. It was hot. It was very, very hot. Sorry. Sorry. Oh God, that's awful. I'm sorry. It was very, very hot. And she decided that I was going to go out in that heat and pull weeds. I'm like, oh. But I knew she had to leave soon. Ha. So I would struggle and suffer and pull weeds until Mama left. Well, she came out and she says, "I'm leaving." So inside I'm smiling, but I know better than to smile. And my face did not work like it used to, so smiles were not coming up. Lunch was on its way up, but smiles were not coming up. And my mom said the worst thing she could have ever said to me. She goes, "I am leaving your sister in charge." My little sister. And she says, "You're going to keep pulling weeds." I'm like, "Okay, Mom." And Mama left. I heard the car. Buick Skylark, big 350 in it. Bad car. She said, she pulled off, and so I proceeded to lay down in that grass, St. Augustine grass, nice thick grass, thick grass. It felt good. The world stopped moving when I laid on the grass. All of a sudden, the middle of my back caught on fire. A little strip of flame hit my back. And then it hit it again. It hit it a third time. And I happened to look up, grabbing my back, and there's my little sister standing over me with a switch that she had pulled off the tree. Smile on her face, and she said, "Mama said pull weeds." Now, I cussed. I said some bad words. I told her I was going to kill her, and she whooped me in the leg, in that fleshy part on the back. And it hurt. And I lunged at her, kind of, but the world moved. So I didn't move well. I said, "I'm going to kill you." I wouldn't have killed her, probably. But I couldn't because I couldn't move. And so she just tore my tail up. My sister did. My little sister did. And so with that, I kept pulling weeds. Now later I got her back some way, somehow. I don't remember, but I guarantee I got her back. But I say all that to say this. I might rather drink that beer again than drink this, and I'm halfway dead. I wouldn't drink this on a dare. I would eat chocolate covered ants. Do not send me chocolate covered ants in the mail. I'm not playing with you. Don't you do it. I would eat the hottest peppers in the world, and I've eaten the hottest peppers in the world, and they are a nightmare. I eat Satan's toenail from Steve Saka. He sent CHIEF one, and it's a lollipop that is just awful. Slobber everywhere. I would do the one chip challenge again before I do this. I would. I'd do the hot ones line, which I have done on video. That's a hot mess. I've done that a couple times. I might even... God dog it, that thing's awful. I might even do surströmming again, which you did on video, and that was the most awful thing in the world. Durian fruit, that's the most stinkiest fruit in the world. I did that. That's hideous. Vegemite and Marmite, we did that, and that's pretty dang bad. I would saddle up to a buffet of all of that before I did this again. If I wasn't on camera or if the show was over, I'd pour that thing out in the neighbor's yard because I don't even want it in my yard. But I feel like I got about a third left. I got a. Oh, and it fills up. It just. Your mouth doesn't want to swallow. It doesn't. Oh my God, it's disgusting. And I can feel the alcohol kick in a little bit. This is going to be. This may be an interesting half of a show left. We got 30 minutes left, and I'm down to. I smoked almost half the cigar. Now, that's not saying much, but. Damn. I just spit. That's just bad. I gotta finish this thing. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. Oh. It does. It makes your mouth fill up. Now, you're probably not supposed to drink it in big gulps, but I'm just trying to get that thing down. I got a quarter of a Diet Pepsi sitting here at the ready. And if I have to, I brought backup. I don't want to eat them now because I'm really worried that they won't taste good. But I saw them when I was picking this up, and I said, ooh, that looks good because I like Christmas tree fatty cakes. I love Christmas tree fatty cakes. And I found Little Debbie mini Christmas tree cake donuts, right? I'm hoping they taste phenomenal and delicious, but sorry, I didn't do it in the camera or in the microphone. You don't need that loud. Probably scare the children in the car. But children, don't drink until you're of age. And grown-ups, don't drink spoiled rotten beer, and don't drink Sweetwater Gummies Tropical IPA. I don't know why somebody would buy this and drink this on purpose. I don't. White Claw, never had one. Why? Because I'm a dude. Dudes who drink White Claw, if you're a dude who drinks White Claw, my bad. But it's true. You probably wear skinny jeans. Regular jeans on me look skinny. Right? I'm full figure boy. You probably have a lot of product in your hair and you probably go to a hairstylist. Because White Claw, oh my God, is not, so bad, is not meant for dudes. I believe that. I believe that. Unless you're on vacation, you get a mixed drink with fruit and an umbrella in it. It's not meant for you either, fellers. Sorry. Call me a caveman. Call me, what's it called? What is it called? Toxic masculinity. Call me that if you want to. I don't care. But no, it's not for you. Oh my gosh, this stuff is ruining my belly. I just had pizza. It was good pizza too. You might taste it in a minute. Oh my gosh. Does this cigar pair well with it? No. Would any cigar pair well with it? No. You wouldn't. Wouldn't. Don't do it. Like most of my life, it's a cautionary tale. Things you should not do. Do not do as I do. Do better. Almost done. Almost done. I'm almost through. One more swallow and we're good. We're not good, but one more swallow and we're dead. That's done. That's so bad. I'm throwing it in the floor. I don't even want it on my desk. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This was not a smart move. Now, if you think this is good content, if you're laughing while you're driving, hopefully not uncontrollably, if you're laughing when you're driving and this is fun content to you, leave me a comment and say, hey, I like these pears. Because I'll suffer for you. Why? Because I love you. Because I'm thirsty. Because I just want everybody to like me and watch my videos. Not really. I did that again in the microphone. I did. I had to give you one, right? Just one. Wait till it comes out the southbound train. You won't be there for that tomorrow. It will probably smell like IPA tropical gummies. Oh my God. If this content disgusts you, well, target achieved. But 30 minutes in, I'm down to the finger burning zone. It's going out. Luckily, I got 3 more. Cigar tasted good before I started drinking that drink. That drink would turn anything bad. So a little spicy, a little peppery. If you like a short stick, if you want a 30-minute smoke, if you want a 35-minute smoke, you want to feel like you smoked a big cigar and you don't have a lot of time, it's a good ring gauge, it's a good size. Peppery, turned earth, minerality, good balance. A little bit of leathers, maybe a little bit of oaky cedar notes kind of going on, maybe. It's not a real complex blend. It's a good blend. It fits the bill, and at that price point, it actually smokes way above its price point. It smokes, it's up there. It's middle shelf, that's for sure. Top shelf, no, but middle shelf, yeah. This would be a great yardstick, a great cigar to bring and share with friends. I would not give it to somebody brand new because it is Maduro. It's got some heaviness to it. It's got some fullness in the strength and the vitamin N, which we like to call nicotine. All cigars have nicotine. Luckily, nicotine is best consumed, best absorbed in your body, in your lungs and your bronchioles, your little bitty air sacs. And we don't inhale. You should inhale a cigar. Don't inhale a cigar. Don't smoke through the band because the band's bad for you too. But you get a little bit of nicotine under your tongue, around your gums, a little bit in the fleshiness of the mouth, evidently, but very, very little, very, very small. And if you smoke the cigar at a good tempo, you don't get the heat up enough to where the nicotine is really activated to be absorbed in the body. That's a little bit of science right there. Now, this is talking about premium long filler cigars without all the additives. I'm not talking about the cigars that you spend 99 cents for 2 and you don't have to humidify them. Most people roll other things other than tobacco in the middle of them. Those have a lot of chemicals, a lot like cigarettes, and those are nicotine delivery systems. Those are meant to give you nicotine and meant to inhale, and it's got a lot of bad properties for you. So I highly recommend, if you're smoking anything, smoke long filler premium cigars. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. But I'm going to get off my high horse and grab my second cigar. I won't finish this cigar with you because this heifer is about 6.5, 7 inches. It's almost as big as my head. Gorgeous bands. Macanudo has some of the most gorgeous bands. The script on the foot band, I really am not digging. But this Macanudo release number 3, let me pull up the computer and see if I can find anything on it real quick. I don't have a press release on this. I got one, but I don't know where I put it. That footband is, oh my, that footband is hard to pull off. Don't like that. Because trying to slide it off, trying to fight it off, you can crack the foot. Doesn't mess up the whole thing, but you sometimes have to touch up your burns. And this thing is snug. It is tight, tight, tight. Got it off. Right, pretty band. You see, don't look, you're driving. Right, but look at that band. Don't look, you're driving. But if you're not driving, you can look at the band. And let me see. Turn the computer back on. Let me go to my Google. Let me cut it. This time we're going to cut it with this ruby red Cigar cutter. Like this cutter. It's got a V-cut on one side. It's got a guillotine on the other. We're going to cut it with a guillotine. Funny story. I was at Barn Smoker. Now it's been almost a month ago, Kentucky, and I wasn't paying attention, and I was clicking it back and forth. It's like a man's fidget spinner, and I wasn't paying 100% attention, and I got my finger stuck where the V cut is. You can't see it. I'm not shooting you a bird. I really am not, but there's still a little dent. See, my fingertip is missing. I actually cut my fingertip off of that dang thing. All right, it's my lighter. I'm not worried about catching the cooties because it's mine. So I'm going to use my tactical Cigar, single jet. Right, I just talked about how a quad is if you're in a hurry. Don't use a quad. Don't use a single. Don't use a double. Don't use a triple. Don't use a match. Don't use a spill. But use a quad. But I'm going to take my time a little bit, like Mr. Rogers says. I like to take my time a lot. And when I want to do it right, I like to take my time to do it right. Right? To light my cigar, to toast it up. I'm getting it ready to take a puff. I like to take my time a lot, and when I want to smoke it right, I like to take my time to do it right. But this single jet is huge. It's got a huge dial on the back. This tactical is amazing for pictures. It's got a cigar rest on it. One of the things I love about the cigar rest is it's like a castle cigar rest. You can put it this way or this way. Don't look, you're driving, but you can show off different angles of the snug draw. Snug draw. Let me twist it up a little bit more. I might have to cut that again. I don't think I need to. I cut a whole bunch off top. Totally different cigar. So let's go to Macanudo release number 3. MacanudoReleaseno3. Enter. Let's see what we get. Let's see if we get anything. It's looking. It's searching. It's hunting. It says, did you mean Macanudo release number 3? Yes, I just typed that. All right. Well, that's not a lot of information. All right. So we will go to my friends at Cigar Dojo. Eric Cutmerson is great. Cigar Dojo is an amazing, amazing place. Dojoverse is fantastic. It's like Facebook for cigars. All right. So let's see. Let's hit that cancel. We'd like to show you notifications. Blah, blah, blah. Ya. Ta. All right, Macanudo's completed its Estate Reserve series with the release of the 3rd and final cigar in the collection. I didn't know there was a 1 and a 2. As Lawrence Welk would say, a 1 and a 2. And, all right. In collaboration with Flint Knoll, a renowned Napa Valley winery. Interesting. Macanudo has crafted a cigar that is said to blend their tobacco with the excellence of Cabernet barrels. All right. Tobacco for the Estate Reserve number 3 was aged in French oak barrels that previously held Flint Knoll's 2021 Royal Appointment Cabernet Sauvignon. Flint Knoll, known for its boutique single vineyard Cabernet Sauvignon, provided the perfect barrels for the aging process. It was an extraordinary year. Found Aaron Michael's unique conditions created a rare vintage, and that essence can be tasted in the cigar's subtle flavors. Medium body with a 5-country blend. Macanudo Estates Reserve number 3 offers a smooth, creamy smoke with hints of vanilla, nuts, and cedar. Each cigar is meticulously hand-rolled in the Dominican Republic, and with its rich barrel-aged notes, it's a must-try for both cigar and wine aficionados. I am not a wine aficionado. Eric from Cigar Dojo is. And that's it. It doesn't tell me... Doesn't tell me anything. This is pricey. This is not a cheap cigar. Yeah. It ain't a cheap cigar. That's for sure. So it better be good. Sorry, did I say that in the camera? Let's see if there's any information on the blend anywhere else. Let me look somewhere else. All right. Go to Half Wheel, another great website. Nope. Nope. Blah, 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 blah. Ah, here it is. All three cigars have used the same basic blend, an Ecuadorian Connecticut seed wrapper, which is a lighter, almost rosado wrapper, a little redness to it. Over Connecticut broadleaf binder, Brazilian Mata Fina, Dominican Piloto Cubano, and Olor, and Nicaraguan Jalapa fillers. The differences have been the vitola and the wine used. All right. For State Reserve number 3, the company aged the binder in barrels that produce Flintno Royal Appointment Cabernet Sauvignon 2021. All right, so it's limited to 1,300 boxes of 10 cigars, so it's only, what is that, 13,000 cigars? That's a pretty small release. I can't believe they sent it to me because usually something that small, they don't need a lot of press release because it's just that small. And I mean, 13,000 cigars. I want you to think about that. 1,300 boxes divided by 50, so 500 would be 10, 1,000 would be 20, and then that's let's say 1,500 because I'm country. I need simple math. You're looking at 150 boxes per state, right? That's not much. And then if it goes national or international, then you got all those countries, right? So it's burning a little wonky, a little bit. The mascara line's pretty tight. Looks a little bit on the thicker side. Mascara line's important. Don't look at this, you're driving. Mascara line's important because that's going to tell you if the tobacco's aged or if it was kind of pushed out quicker than it should be. It wasn't normalized long enough or let to rest long enough in the processes. So with that being said, it's still a good enough mascara line. It's not tight and tiny, but it's pretty good. It's not bubbly. It's not super big. But it is somewhat. It's not like goth mascara, but it's a little thick. No, it's not bad. Flavors. Luckily, I can't taste that crappy gummy bear thing anymore. Thank God. My belly's still turning a little bit. But I don't taste wine. I do taste subtlety. I taste a smooth. I taste a mellow, but not mellow boring. A little bit of cedar, a little bit of slight barrel char. Not barrel char, more like after you've had a bonfire. Oh, excuse me. And you let oh my God, now I got that gummy bear again. After you let the bonfire go out, you just got the embers rocking and rolling around. That smell that gets on your clothes, it's got a little bit of that. A little bit of minerality and turned earth, just a hint. But it's got I don't want to say creamy because it's not completely creamy, but there's a smoothness to it, almost like a gravy on the tongue with the flavor. Very pleasant. Very pleasant. It's not like trying to smoke a heavy cigar. It's not trying to smoke like a very light cigar. It's more of an in the middle cigar. Um, it's a big cigar. It's a long cigar. It's probably 7 inches, maybe. Where's the dang? There it is. Usually it says. Let me turn my light so I can see. Do 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 do. Hang on. I gotta get my glasses. Yeah, I'm old. Right? Oh, that's much better. Uh, French oak barrel aged. Number 3 release. Ever don't say. Turd. Let me see what Half Wheel says. Put my glasses down like Ben Franklin. Don't look at me, you're driving. All right, so they got a 7x52 Churchill. And the other one's a 7x52. They don't call it Churchill. They call it a Macanudo Estate Reserve Flint Knoll number 3. I don't know what the difference is, but it's a 7x52, which is a Churchill. So that's a good size cigar, 7-inch cigar. We went from one extreme to the other. Let me get these glasses off because I feel like I look like I'm old. I don't need them unless when I'm reading, and I usually use my phone as a magnifier, especially at restaurants. I'll take a picture of the menu, and then I'll just kind of scroll around and look like I'm on Facebook because I don't want to show people that I can't see. And I just kind of blow it up a little bit, and I just look and I order whatever I can read. Which, as you can see, I can read pretty good because I eat. All right. The ash is that white and black. It's actually very pretty. Don't look up here. You're driving. But it's got a nice little contrast between the two. Really nice. Not that ash is it's already smoked. It's the leftovers. It's the remnants of what I already did. But it actually does look kind of cool, and I like it to add to the experience. So, 51 minutes in. If you're still here, we're almost done. Hopefully you're still driving. You're not sitting in the parking lot in the driveway listening to me because that's silly. Get in the house and go live your life. But in these things, in this experiment, I want to be true to who I am. And who I am is your cheerleader. I am. I really want to leave you with something that is valuable for tomorrow, right? Smoking cigars is great. Smoking cigars is wonderful. But you know what? There's more to life than smoking cigars. There's a lot more to life than smoking cigars. There's family. There's experiences. There's life. There's work. There's bills. There's all this other stuff. But you know what? I want you to go away with something that you may be able to put in your pocket and use, or if you don't need it, maybe you can share it with somebody else. So, for the last 8 minutes, I'm going to get on my proverbial soapbox. Be your cheerleader for a minute. I was going to do a video on this, but I don't know if I will. But I've always used this, for many times in my life, I've used this phrase to myself. Actually, as a pastor, youth pastor, I actually preached this a couple times and used biblical evidence that, that this makes sense. And the phrase was, I was sad I didn't have shoes until I met a man who didn't have feet. It's true, right? There is somebody out there that has it worse than me, that has it worse than you. I mean, in the world, evidently, us lower middle class and below are living better than 99% of the world, or some statistic like that. But still, there's other people that can't find their food. There's people with Hurricane Helene. First Lady's been up there a lot dealing with that up in North Carolina, where it really got hit really bad. And she's seeing people have nothing, that won't have power for months, that won't have water, that won't have anything else. And they're having to come to shelters where she's helping to give them basic necessities to live. When the power went out for 3 or 4 days, it was rough, but we still had food, and we had the ability, had lots of Ryobi batteries, and so we had the ability to have fans and stuff. But there are some people who live without any of that, sadly, without any homes. And so it's true. It's true. There are people that are worse off than we are. But you know what? It dawned on me just recently that just because there are people that have it worse than we do does not mean that what we're going through is not valid. Just because somebody's worse than we are does not mean that our life is kind of poopy right now. And it's okay to be upset and downtrodden that life just ain't doing great right now. It'll get better. It's never, ever worth saying it's over and I don't want to do it no more. Never, ever, ever. It'll get better. It will. If that statement, the shoes, the feet, it still has merit. And so if somebody's complaining that Starbucks was closed, Starbucks is an easy target. That Starbucks was closed and I couldn't get my coffee latte, well, then I'm going to look at him and say, hey, I was mad because I didn't have shoes, but until I met a man who didn't have feet. It's not a big deal. In other words, suck it up, buttercup. It's just a freaking cup of overpriced coffee. But if you're going through some tough times, if I see you going through some honestly, God, rough times, yeah, that IPA is kicking in. I'm not going to look at you and say that. I'm going to look at you and say, yeah, this is rough. How can I help? Or if I can't help you, how can I get you help? Or do you need somebody to talk to? Or do you need somebody to lean on? Is there a need to get assistance? There's nothing wrong with saying, in my life there is a storm and I am not equipped to survive it on my own. I need help. And in that case, I'm talking about the storms of your life, of your emotions, of your feelings, of your experience. If the inside of you is telling you that you are no good, you need to talk to somebody. If the person that you are when you look in the mirror is somebody that you just don't see value in, I'm going to tell you there's value, not because I want to make you feel better about yourself, because I want to tell you the truth, because the life will beat you down if you let it. Society will tell you you are not good enough, and it's easy to hear because so much noise is so negative in this world, and there's so little positivity. I'll tell you what, me personally, one negative comment will drown out 100 positives instantly. That's one of my issues. I'm being honest with you here, being transparent. My self-worth is in the crapper. I don't see value in myself as Bob most of the time. Bob the Cigar Guy is easy because I get to come on here and be a character. Some of it who is me, and some of it is the best of me, and some of it is probably better of somebody else. And it's easy to talk to a camera in a room by myself and make everything look good. But sometimes I don't think I am worth turd. And that negative talk does nothing but beat me down and make me want to stay down. And so I have to make a choice. I can be my biggest villain, crushing on myself, or I can be my biggest cheerleader. It's my choice. So I choose to try to make better decisions. I choose to give myself grace and mercy and love, and I choose to make myself show up every day and be the best I can be. Now, I know you don't have all these problems, but I know there are times when you may. And I pray, I hope, that you know that you are the best person ever in your skin, and the world needs you. And you are fantastic, and you are phenomenal, and you make the world a better place. Thank you for showing up, and thank you for being there. And I'm so glad you'll be there tomorrow, no matter what today is, because tomorrow will be better. And if tomorrow's not, the next day will. And I mean that. And I love you. I've got 7 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye and tell you that that IPA is poopy. Don't buy it. I love you. Safe driving. Later, Tater.